Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you all enjoy this video. Also, shout out to Gav Imp off of Tumblr. I will put her Tumblr image right here so you can check her out, and I'll have her linked in the description below. But she did the art for this channel and given me permission to use said art for this. And yes, so it is that, and yes, the art is done by her. All credit for the art goes to her. She is amazing. She is wonderful. She is beautiful at the artwork, and we love it. And yes, I will have the full image here, but this is the one I used for this was a cropped of the original image she had made because Abel Bright's not involved in this yet, so or will be at all. So yes, this is just this in general. Video with that is Yandere Mates, part 2 or part 3. It depends if you count the Patreon private video as a video. But anyways, the Patreon video is a private video for the maiden of Alto Clef and Benjamin Kondraki. Benjamin Kondraki is an alpha made in an alpha beta omega universe of the SCP Foundation, and is Yandere for Alto Clef, who is semi Yandere, more of the Darlin type, with Benjamin Kondraki and is the Omega. They have just made it, and this is the aftermath of it after the breach happened. Anyways, let's do this. Disclaimer. Alto Clef and Benjamin Kondraki are not a canon couple in the main canon, but the multiverse is very big and could very well have them as yanderes for each other, could have them as alpha, beta, omegas, and could have them as mated couple and yandere for each other and all that stuff. But it is not in the main canon, so this is just for fun and not to be taken seriously. They are not yandere in canon, and then again, it is just for fun and not to be taken seriously. Simpin and shippin characters that are fictional and fictional yanderes is fine as long as you separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon, and are not illegal or gross about it, obviously. Yanderes are not ideal partners to want in real life, and you should not want yanderes in real life, to be honest. Anyways, let's do this. Okay. Alto Clef has finally woken up after the breach. He had passed out after being mated by Benjamin Kondraki. He sits up in the hospital bed, holding his neck. Frick, 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 is all he could think. As he holds his neck, he had been mated by Benjamin Kondraki in the middle of the Foundation during a breach. Fuck's sake, what the heck was wrong with him? Why did he give in to his baser instincts of wanting to be mated? Yes, he had run out of heat suppressants and scent blockers, but it shouldn't have come to this. Benjamin was sleeping in the chair next to the bed, his arms crossed over his chest and looking rather grumpy as he sleeps. Alto glares at him and throws a pillow right at his face, waking him up and making him almost cough on air. The frick, he says, and looks over at Clef. What the hell, he says, looking at his now mate. He loved his mate, and the scent just drove him wild seeing his mate all flustered. Who the hell are you to fucking bite me? You prick, he says, glaring at his unfortunate mate. You're the one who wanted it, he says. Those are my baser instincts, not me giving consent. They continue to bicker about this back and forth, and then Kondraki finally says, Okay, look, I'm sorry, we'll get it reversed. That's why I brought you to medical. Clef nodded and held onto his neck again, this time where the tattoo was of that covered his old maiden mark. The maiden mark that he had gotten from his last mate long, long ago. Benjamin sighed and got into bed with Clef. Just hold still, okay? They'll be here soon. Let go of me, damn it! Clef says, elbowing Kondraki in the ribs, but Kondraki does not give up. He uses his alpha command to make Clef settle down and relax. He was doing his best to help his mate. He loved Clef. He really did. He loved him with all his heart, but he wanted it to be consented fully and not stuck in baser instincts and need to fill a base instinct that Clef may have not wanted. Using his alpha instinct and power over Clef, he calmed Clef down and then got out of bed. I'll go get the doctor, he says, and walks away. Clef sighed and held on to both sides of his neck. He was angry and frustrated, but suddenly very calm thanks to Kondraki, doing the best I could to keep him calm. Soon the doctor came and removed the mark. It was painful as all frickin' hell, and there was a lot of curses coming out of Clef's mouth. Finally, it was gone, and it didn't even leave a scar. He was thankful for that. Rubbing it, and Kondraki did not get his removed. Clef looked at him. Why aren't you getting yours removed? Maybe I don't want mine removed, he says, glaring down at Clef. I'm going to go back to my office. You have a good day. He walks out, holding with his neck tilted slightly, showing off his maiden mark. He was proud that Clef mated him and marked him, even though Clef was not proud of his. Clef sighs and throws himself down on his pillow. Frickin' bastard, he says, not very happy with his now no longer mate, who still wore the maiden mark with pride. The day went on, and then Clef went back to his room. Nothing was the same after that. Nothing at all. Everyone asked who Benjamin started to have as their mate, and when did he mate them. Clef was getting annoyed with all the girls, asking him if his mate was someone who worked here. That was not any of their damn business. Clef admits that he had a crush on Kondraki, but he wasn't ready to fully commit to him. So once it was time for lunch, instead of going to play his ukulele in the cafeteria, he goes to Kondraki's office before catching him before his lunch. Who the frick do you think you are? Clef says, slamming his hands down on Kondraki's desk. He was an Omega that did not take any shite, for sure. Kondraki looks at him. What do you mean? You are flirting with all those frickin' girls. Kondraki chuckles and smirks. Why, are you jealous? Clef's face goes a bright red, and he punches Kondraki right in the nose. Kondraki holds his now bleeding nose and looks at him. Yep, you're jealous. Ugh, I frickin' hate you, he says, looking at the man that he didn't want to mate, but also wanted to mate. It was a very complicated situation. Well, maybe I love you, Kondraki says, and Clef stops. His face going red, and he storms out. Bull frickin' poo, he thinks to himself as he walks out. There was no reason for this man to say that he loved him. No reason at all, but it did make Clef's heart flutter, and he didn't admit that he actually loved it. He makes it to the elevator and gets inside, and God, it was filled with alpha musk. He hated maiden season, even though it was out of his urge. It was the typical maiden season that a lot of people, Omegas, had their scent. Luckily, Clef's sense was sated, and he wasn't giving it off, but he still smelled like a freshly mated Omega, which made some of the alphas chuckle in there. Oh, they were not going to last for a second. He ends up shooting them all, and they all explode with large tumors exploding at their points, and he leaves them in there bloody and a mess. He hated being an Omega, and he hated the whole stigma that Omegas could not work in the Foundation properly. He hated it. So he goes to play his ukulele and the guitar in the cafeteria. Not the guitar, where did that come from? In the cafeteria, and enjoys it very much. He, of course, was no longer seen as the scary and intimidating beta that he was. He was now seen as the terrifying Omega, because an Omega to act the way Clef does is terrifying, and it made people even more on edge and unnerved by him. But it also made some alphas try to challenge him, to dominate him in the sense of dominate someone an Omega so strong. Of course, they did not last long, not at all. Finally, it came to the end of the day, and Kondraki was making his way down the hall when he hears Clef shooting someone. You know that's not going to solve anything, Kondraki says. Shut up! It's all your fault in the frickin' first place, he says. How is it my fault? You're the one who. Kondraki looks at him in Clef's size. Fine, you're going to court me and you're going to frickin' like it, Clef says to Kondraki and then storms off. Kondraki smirks. He just got permission to court Clef, and he could not be more over the moon. He was so excited. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more of this, comment below what that you would like to see more of the Yandere Alpha Kondraki X Yandere Omega Clef, and I will do my best to do it. And if you would like to see more SCP stuff as well, or check it out, you know what to do as usual. And I hope that you all enjoyed this. Yes. And I hope that you all enjoyed this, as usual. Thank you, Gav, for letting me use the artwork, first of all. And thank you for being my first patron and also doing a commission for me. You are fabulous and wonderful and beautiful and stunning. Thank you, Gav. I cannot wait to commission you again. Thank you. And thank you, Wicked Brony, for being my second patron. You are wonderful. You are fabulous. You are beautiful. Mwah. Chef's kiss. I hope that you enjoyed this as well, since this was your request. And I hope that you all enjoyed, and stay sexy, oh my sexy muffins. Bye bye. Okay, secret outro time, secret outro time, secret outro time. Do you like the artwork that Gav does for this channel? That's the secret outro question of the day. Comment below what you think. I personally love it, and nothing you can say can change my mind. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed, and stay sexy on my sexy muffins. Bye-bye!